Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a regular Tuesday process video for you, but I kind of feel like this should be the start of a new series called Laura Uses Tools That She Doesn't Know How to Use, because I'm making some shaker pockets today with those close to my heart circle shaker or circle thins, I guess they're called. They're basically die cuts, and then there's the acrylic covering, and then the circular foam piece. Anyway, you'll see how it comes together. It was not very easy because I've never done these before. And I like the look of shaker pockets, and I have made my own using my We Are Memory Keepers, or We Are Makers now, the fuse tool, and just some leftover like page protector plastic, right? Which isn't the most, this is not the easiest thing to do. So when I saw that Close to My Heart had these shaker pocket things, I was like, oh, this is gonna be so easy. And it could have been if there had been instructions. Please, scrapbook manufacturers, do not make items without instructions. You could easily just put it real quick on the back of the packaging. The back of these die cuts come on like a magnetic mat. You could easily have just put them, have a sticker on the back of the magnetic mat with instructions on what you're supposed to do. Just like a step 1, cut out the circles. Step 2, then do this. I had to go on YouTube and find other videos of how people had used these because to me, it wasn't self-explanatory. There are 2 different circles. Then there are 2 circles where if you wanted to, you could cut like pattern paper confetti. But I didn't use those. I just used the smaller circle and then the larger circle. And then I used the foam tape, the foam tape and the acrylic coverings. And those are all sold separately. So you buy the die cuts, and that's like a one-time purchase. But then you get the shapes, the shaker window foam and acetate, that comes in a separate pack. And I think there were like 6 maybe in there. And of course I used one, totally screwed it up. Because again, I didn't know what I was doing. And I had looked at a video first before I even started. And I thought, oh, that looks easy. I'll be able to replicate that, no problem. But then a couple days went by, and when I sat down to do this, I was like, wait, what am I supposed to do? So anyway, learning curve for the newbies, but I figured it out, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I originally wanted to do 3 shaker pockets because I like, the rule of 3s, put everything in 3s. And what I ended up doing, since I screwed up one of them, I only did 2. So you'll see how they all come together. This was quite the process, but I am pleased with the way it looks. And obviously, a lot of people do shaker pockets on cards. I'm doing them on a 12 by 12 scrapbook layout. So this is just another way to use to use shaker pockets. If you like the look of them, but you're like, but I don't make cards. You don't have to make cards. You can use them on scrapbook layouts, and it's totally fine. And it's a great way to use up some leftover sequins. I actually had 2 sequins packages that I had gotten many years ago at a Stamp and Scrapbook Expo. And they just didn't stick very well with the glue dots. I don't know what it was about these sequins, but they just did not want to adhere no matter what. So putting them in a shaker pocket was a really great way to use some of those up. Okay, so I've got a photo. It's a 4x6 photo, and it's a recent photo. I usually don't like to scrap out of order, but it's a very recent photo from the other weekend. My daughter and I went to St. Louis to visit my dad because we didn't get to go over Christmas because of Southwest. And, here's where I screw it up. See, you're not supposed to put that there. And once it's stuck, it doesn't come off. All right. So it's a photo. We went to the Magic House in St. Louis. They have this thing where you put your hand on it and it makes your hair stand up. I don't remember what, some electromagnetic thing. So we got our picture printed out. You have to pay for that, but it's fine. And I was like, you know what? It's here on my desk. I knew I wanted to do a layout with just one photo, and it was there, and it was perfect. And now it's done. Now it's scrapbooked. Okay, so as you're seeing me struggle with this, a couple things. So you're not supposed to put the acetate on the paper ring, okay? The paper ring is actually gonna go on top of or you're not supposed to put the foam tape on the paper ring. The paper ring goes on top of the acetate. And you can see here that I'm like, well, I was trying to get a white background because I wanted my sequins to stand out against a solid color. I didn't want to do a pattern. So the ring of the pattern paper is the ring of the shaker pocket is gonna be pattern paper. So here I had to go back and cut out. I was like, oh, that's what that other circle die cut was for, the bigger one. Oh my God, I don't know why this has to be so hard. So anyway, you're gonna take that background piece that you cut out with the larger circle, okay? You are going to take the circular foam tape piece, and you're gonna stick it down. Now, the thing with the foam tape is that I feel like once you pull it off, it gets a little wonky and it's not a perfect circle anymore. For me, doing this, the 3 times that I attempted this, I didn't really get it perfect. And the last one I do, some of the foam is like sticking off the circle. So I guess the only thing I can tell you is to just take it slow, or you can even cut part of the foam circle away if it gets a little too wonky. I know. You'd think it seems really easy, but there are some issues. All right, so then you're going to put your sequins in. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a specific amount of sequins that's good for shaker pockets or not. I don't know. I don't care. I just threw in a couple different colors of these kind of pinks and purples. And then you peel off the top layer of the foam adhesive and you stick the acetate down. Now you have to put that pattern paper ring on top of the acetate. Now, I used mini glue dots to stick it down, and I didn't put them all the way around. So maybe part of this pattern paper piece is loose, but it's stuck down enough that it works. I don't have like a fine line glue bottle. I need to get one, I really do, but I don't have that, so I'm just using what I have in my stash. So if you want to try these out, but you're like, oh, but I don't have this tool and I don't have that. Well, I didn't have them either. So just, whatever. You can still make it work. I promise. So then there's my first shaker pocket. And I've taken some circles that I had already punched out in my punched out pattern paper circle stash. And I'm just going to like layer stuff up around it. So I've got circles in a bunch of different sizes. Some of the larger ones were the offset of the dies from this shaker pocket thing. And so I'm going to put those in there too, just so I can get some use out of them. So I've got a pink one and I've got a yellow one that I'm going to put on top of another shaker pocket. These are papers from an old Echo Park spring collection. And I kind of like them just because they're kind of just general pattern papers. There's nothing really springy about them, I guess, except for the bright colors. But I thought they would be perfect with just kind of this general photo. And I liked the colors and they go well with the sequins that I had. I also pulled out some blue sequins, but I ended up only doing the pinks and the purples in these. One thing I will note is that when you put the foam adhesive circle down, don't take the top layer of adhesive off before you put all the sequins in, because they sometimes like to stick to that. And that's not good. You don't want sequins that are sticking inside. You want them to be moving around. And maybe you're thinking, well, this on a scrapbook layout, it's going to be in an album. You're not really going to be shaking that much. That's very true. But I think it just adds like a cool element as you're like flipping the page to see the sequins kind of moving inside and to hear that shaking going on. So I think you're still getting a really cool element, even though it's going to be in a page protector. That's just my take on it. I hope this video is inspiring for you. If you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, please consider doing so, because I have so many other random tools in my stash that I really need to use, and I'm sure you'd love to see me use them the wrong way. So hit that subscribe button, give this video a like if you're enjoying watching it, and if you're already a subscriber, welcome back, and thanks so much for watching this video all the way to the end. All right, so now I'm putting the circles down. I'm using my double-sided adhesive tape. Obviously, I had the circles all in a nice like positioning, and then I moved them, and so I'm going to try to get them back in a similar type of positioning as best I can, because you always like the way you put things down first, and then you have to put adhesive behind them, and they end up getting moved and kind of shuffled around a little bit. But I think I got the basic gist of this back. I like having these circles pre-punched. I have 2 small circle punches and like a larger one. And then I also have my Creative Memory circle cutting system. And then the die cuts with the Spellbinders Grand Caliber. That's what I used with these die cuts. So close to my heart. I don't know if there's a specific type of die cut machine that they recommend you use, but I used it with a manual Spellbinders Grand Caliber. I also saw some other videos where people were using it with a manual Cuttlebug. I think that's what it's called. So I think they just work with any die cut machine, which is really nice because I think there are probably some dies out there that don't work with every kind of device. I don't know why people would do that, but these do. So anyway, just thought I would throw that out there because I didn't say that before when I was actually die cutting them. And you'll notice I'm also taking my adhesive squares and cutting them in half. I like to do that because it saves the adhesive, and I'm always running out of adhesive. So if you use this type of adhesive, maybe you want to consider cutting your adhesive squares in half too. So now I'm going to get the layout or the photo down. I am going to add a little bit more mixed media to this layout as well, just because the background is a solid color. It's a Doodlebug cardstock that just came in a regular paperback. And it's, it's fine. It's pretty, but I do like to add a little bit of something extra to it. I didn't want these to be on a pattern background because I like all the different patterns of paper that are being used with the circles. And I wanted the focus to really be on like the shaker pockets and those sequins. So I chose a solid color backdrop, but I will zhuzh it up just a little bit. What else can I tell you? If you don't know, the Magic House is a really cool museum, and I wish they had something similar where I live in New Jersey or at all in New Jersey, because New Jersey is a very small state, and the city of St. Louis is like 10 times, 10, 20 New Jersey boroughs or whatever they are, combined. So yeah, when people are like, oh, you're from Missouri, did you grow up on a farm? And I'm like, no, guess where I live now? In New Jersey, near multiple farms. I lived in a city, folks. It was just like New York, except you had to drive cars everywhere. People in New York drive cars everywhere too, so I don't really know what the difference is. Yeah, I'm very like tied down to my hometown, and I really miss I don't miss a lot of the stuff in like Missouri in general, but I do miss just having access to the zoo, which is free, the science center, the art museum, the this, the that, all this stuff that we just don't have in New Jersey because it's New Jersey and it's kind of poopy. Anyway, so now I am finishing up some of the circles down here at the bottom. I was telling you about the circle. I guess the small circle punches, I'll go ahead and tell you, are, I think, 1/2 inch and 1 inch. That's how I got those sizes. But the Creative Memory circle cutting system, you can get a bunch of different sizes, which is really, really nice. Then obviously I have like a larger punch, which might be like, 2 inches or 3 inches, something like that. I didn't use that for this, but I'm just letting you know. I love using circles on scrapbook layouts, and I actually have a playlist where I did a bunch of layouts showing you different ways to use circles on your scrapbook layouts. So definitely check that out if you're interested. That's here on the channel, and it's under playlists. And I have a bunch of other playlists as well that you can check out if you're interested, because I do a lot of different challenges and hops throughout the month. So I always try to make separate playlists for those in case you just want to go back and see like the off the board challenges. What was I inspired by Pinterest for the month and that kind of thing. Those are really fun. And you can also find out more about participating in those challenges and everything when you watch my videos. There will always be links in the description box. So I'm adding in a couple stickers here, and you're probably like, those are fruits. Yes, they are. Why am I adding fruits to this? I don't know, because I'm never going to use them on anything else. And I thought this sort of like random general layout with these bright colors might be just perfect for these fruity stickers. So I challenge you not only to use circles on your layouts and make shaker pockets on your scrapbook layouts, but I also challenge you to take a look at some of the stickers in your embellishments and just find ones that you're like, I have no idea when I'm going to use these, and just throw them on a random layout, right? Just throw them on. I'm also adding in some enamel dots that I got from the Dollar Tree. They come in like a strip, which is fine if you want to use them that way, but I just cut them individually so that I can use them like regular enamel dots. So I'm just kind of adding a few of those in between little places here and there. I like to find the negative space between, again, the corners of things to add stuff like enamel dots or the Nuvo drops. You probably saw that video from Friday where I participated in the Iron Crafter Challenge, and the tool for the month was using enamel dots or dimensional drops, and I used Nuvo drops. So now I'm trying to come up with a title, and I have these two Doodlebug alpha stickers out on my desk because I'm really trying to like use them up as best I can. Unfortunately, I just didn't have enough of the right letters. I never do. So I went into my alpha stash. I have 2 drawers full of alphas. They're so full that the alphas sometimes fall out the back of the drawer and onto the floor. Yeah, I have a lot of alphas, but they're always like random letters. I don't never have enough letters to make what I need. So I'm using 3 different types of alphas to make this title. Those stickers right there that I'm using are actually from the Dollar Tree. Yes, you can find alpha stickers at the Dollar Tree. Are they like the best? No. If you're kind of like obsessed with thickers the way I am, you're going to go to the Dollar Tree and be like, oh, I don't know about these. But for like a quick pinch and just to have something to use, yes, they're perfect and they work just great, okay? The other letters I think are Pink Fresh, little puffy letters, and I think some Old American Crafts. Some Old American Crafts. I really like that collection. I don't remember what it was, but it was really pretty. So now I'm doing a hand-drawn border, and I think I'm using, what am I using? Pink? Normally I use black for my hand-drawn borders, but because this cardstock was pink and my black ink is kind of running out a little bit, I just decided to do a hand-drawn border with the pink. Hand-drawn borders, another thing that a lot of people are like, oh no, my line's not straight. Who cares? I like a wonky hand-drawn border. That's the whole point of doing it by hand. So another challenge for you is to try a hand-drawn border on your layout. Oh, and here come more of the Nuvo drops. You can see I have 3 colors of Tim Holtz Distress Oxide spray waiting in the wings over there. First, I'm gonna do the Nuvo drops, and then I'm gonna do the Distress Oxide. So these are, I can't remember that color. It's like a light bluey teal type of color. I'm just doing a couple like little spots, and I'm going to try to do the Nuvo drops in different sizes because I have 2 colors of them. So I'm trying to, again, kind of use them in a way that I would use enamel dots by making groupings of 3 where I have like a large thing, a medium thing, and a small thing. So I'm just going to do that all around the layout. That's something else that you can do with your Nuvo drops. If you weren't inspired enough by Friday's video, here's some more Nuvo drops. Perhaps Friday's video inspired me to break these out again. And they're also just a really great way, especially if you don't have a lot of embellishments, as I do not on this layout. I mean, I had some like random stickers, but it's not very embellishment heavy. So it's just a great way. These Nuvo drops are just a great way to kind of add something extra with some dimension to the layout, whether you're using shaker pockets or not. And then the colors of the Distress Oxide. These are my favorites. Squeeze Lemonade, Kitsch Flamingo, and the patina one, I think it was. Salvaged patina. Oh my gosh, they're like my favorites. I use Squeezed Lemonade a lot because it's just such a fun, bright yellow. And I guess I tend to scrapbook with these same kind of colors, like bright colors, the yellows, the pinks, and the blues. I love the way that they go together. And especially with this paper collection and all the other pattern papers that I threw in it, those colors are definitely kind of a main focus. And so I wanted to pull those out of those pattern papers and use them with those drops. Please cover your photo before you do your spraying or your splatters. I'm doing splatters right here. I'm just kind of going to put them all the way around and get a little bit of something of each color around everything. And then you let it dry and your layout's pretty much done, which is really nice, right? So I like the way that this one came together, and I hope that you guys liked it too. Let me know in the comments what your favorite Distress Oxide color is and whether you use it in a spray or an ink pad or something else, because I know they make a lot of other different types of products. The close-ups are going to follow, so you'll be able to see things in a lot more detail. And I hope that this video inspires you. That's why I make these videos, just to kind of show you guys different things that you can do and to prove to you that you don't have to be a super professional in order to make really fun scrapbook layouts. Just go with the flow and do your own thing. You got this. So thanks so much for watching, and happy scrapping.